Encounters with Multidimensional Beings. Part 4. Vision Quest Journal. Following the instructions of the far stream that was given to me at the beginning of this vision quest, each day I was tasked with either going to a nearby stream or a lake, or setting with a pitcher of water and infusing it with healing energy. At the time, I could not see what this practice had anything to do with my financial situation, my chronic pain, or my feelings of isolation and loneliness. Then came my first surprise. 2 days after I first began sitting by the creek, I got a letter from the State of Connecticut Department of Social Services informing me that they were taking over my Medicare payments, which amounted to an expense of $500 a month, or 1/3 of my monthly income. I saw that there was more to this, quote, talking to water, unquote, practice than I had realized. After the first experience at the stream, the, quote, voice, unquote, of the stream became silent. But I still felt that I was being influenced by the stream, voice or no voice. One example of this was in a meditation I had. I was quietly sitting in meditation and heard the word Dimahi. The word sound Dimahi kept repeating over and over. After I finished meditating, I looked it up. Now, I had heard this word before. It is part of the Gayatri mantra, but I did not know what it meant. So I looked it up, and here is the translation, quote, wisdom that flows like water, unquote. Considering I was now meditating on water each day, this was a fairly astonishing development. I found that the way water began influencing me to be charming. On Sunday, December 19th, I intentionally went into a trance state with the intention of trying to figure out who this mysterious woman is that keeps showing up in my bedroom in the mornings. Once I was established in an altered state of consciousness, I began to Google the following combination of words: cat woman, cat goddess, cat energy, cat angel, cat healing energy, feline woman, etc. Most of the hits were leading me in the direction of Egypt. I am unfamiliar with the culture of Egypt, but I discovered that they have a culture that treats cats as if they are divine. In ancient times, they have a cat goddess, a cross between a woman and a cat. The name of this goddess is Bast, B-A-S-T. I looked up what the goddess was about. The first definition of what this goddess was about was a bit of a shock. She is the goddess of pandemics or plagues. I found this ironic. The second reference said she is the goddess of aromas. Third, she represents the good mother. She also has a twin sister whose focus is physical healing. As I was looking at various videos on the culture of Egypt, one of the things I picked up about the culture of ancient Egypt is that they had a unique language, and perhaps still have that unique language, that is based on sound more than meaning. This is very similar to Sanskrit's approach to language. I'm much more familiar with Sanskrit than the Egyptian language. I stumbled upon a video that talked about the sound of ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics. Despite the lack of any recordings, scientists figured out how to pronounce ancient Egyptian words despite the lack of any recordings or any living people who are familiar with the language, at least as it was 3,000 years ago. This got my curiosity up and I plunged into the video. I found out that scientists had discovered that ancient hieroglyphics were the language predecessors to the Coptic language. As I watched the video, on the screen they put up the Coptic characters and translated them as they came down from hieroglyphics. And I suddenly realized that these Coptic characters and letters look familiar. And then I realized that I was looking at the same characters that were on the dream sign, the one that indicated to go turn in the direction of the woolly mammoths. The fact that I found the letters on the dream sign was surprising. So, just for fun, I Googled the words combined, Coptic and woolly mammoth. Just curious. The result of the Google search was very surprising. The Google search immediately took me to the web page of the British Museum. I never would have guessed that this would be the result of combining these two dissimilar words. It turns out that they have something in common. There is a large and famous exhibit of woolly mammoths at the British Museum, and believe it or not, the British Museum is located on Coptic Drive in London. So I went to the British Museum site, and then I accidentally came across the exact picture of the mystery woman that was visiting me. This was confirmation. It was Bast, the Egyptian cat goddess. The fact that these two unrelated dreams both brought me to the British Museum Egyptian exhibit was an astonishing coincidence, and I felt a confirmation.